So the Elgato Stream Deck is one of my favorite pieces of tech really ever. It's super versatile for just playing your music, integrating with OBS, and really controlling all kinds of features for your computer as well as live streaming. But they now have released SDK, which means third-party app developers will be able to really take it and expand it to other things, even including vMix, which is what I live stream on. So in this video, Jeff from Elgato is going to be breaking down all the details coming up. This video is brought to you by tubeinfluence.com, a 1-hour online masterclass on how to grow a highly influential and profitable YouTube channel this year. On this free training, you'll learn the proven strategies and current best practices for growing your subscribers and creating passive income with YouTube. To register for free, just go to tubeinfluence.com. Hey, what's up? Sean here with Think Media, bringing you the best tips and tools for building your influence with online video. And I'm here with Jeff from Elgato. How's it going?
Fantastic, man. Doing great.
Man, thanks for coming on. And, you know, Stream Deck is something you and I both love. Obviously, you work with Elgato, but this update is a big deal because once I got mine, I wasn't at the time streaming on OBS. I was using vMix, and in the integration, and I wasn't gonna program anything. But now with SDK coming out, the floodgates have opened. What is happening?
So basically when we released Stream Deck, we knew the potential that it had because it has dynamic LCD screens, not just because it's so glanceable and customizable for the pictures, but because the software is customizable and that we'll be able to add new updates continuously to make it more and more powerful. So we've been really great and responsive from our community's requests to add features for hey, we want mixer support, we want XSplit support, we want, whatever, YouTube support, etc. And so we've been doing pretty major updates about once a month since our release back in March of 2017. So one of the things is, though, that a lot of people are picking up Stream Deck outside of streaming. So graphics artists are using this for their Photoshop or video editing needs. I've seen hospitals use this for radiology machines or computers, and I've seen stock traders trying to execute buy commands on their Stream Deck. So there's so many use cases outside of the streaming segment that people are wanting to use this for, and so we recognize that, and we wanted to make it easier for people to use Stream Deck in every aspect of their lives. So now Stream Deck is no longer limited to our single development team. So basically any developer, big or small, can make a plugin for Stream Deck that can basically make it do anything if it's just limited by people's imagination. So if you want Stream Deck to order you a pizza, if you have a little programming know-how, you can program it and do it yourself. So with this plugin here, you can actually switch between the two sound outputs of your computer. So if I have a headset and a speaker, I can just press a button and then switch between the two rather than going into my sounds menu, playback, looking for the right device, and doing everything there. And then some of the other glanceable features, because something that we haven't touched upon yet for Stream Deck is we have a CPU monitor right here, so you can actually see in real time what your CPU levels are at, as well as a little clock here. In the future, this could expand to things like network health. If you're live streaming, you could have a little graph that shows oh, here are your packets, oh, you're dropping some, now it's flashing red. So there's a lot of possibilities with these little monitoring keys here, and that's just a little taste of what's coming with Stream Deck SDK.
I love that. And so remind me of the price of the Stream Deck.
So the regular Stream Deck retails for $149.95, and we also have a 6-key Stream Deck mini version that's $99.95. So same power as regular Stream Deck. You can still do folders, so you have an unlimited amount of actions, and it's $50 cheaper.
And then speaking about use case, of course for gamers, lots of gamers use Elgato, but our community is also full of business-minded content creators and entrepreneurs that want to go live stream and teach something. And, again, I do a lot of teaching on vMix where I switch screens and I want to trigger videos and whatnot. And so what are some of the potential opportunities of why people should pick one of these up?
I mean, Stream Deck is just becoming a more and more powerful product. It doesn't matter if you bought it on day one or if you bought it yesterday. You will get that same kind of updates and the same feature sets, which is really great. And to kick off SDK, we've had some really great launch partners, one of whom that you've already mentioned, which is vMix. The other guys who's also pretty in the professional space is Overstream by New Blue FX. Then we also have VoiceMod, if in case you want some cool voice effects. Then we have SoundFlow and Stream Elements. So we already have a good amount of people in our Stream Deck app store right now, and then more coming. We've had Stream Deck SDK out for 2 days now, and we've already seen 2 really great integrations made just from our community. One guy made it so you could press a button and actually switch the output of what your sound is coming from your computer. So if you have your headset and your speakers plugged into your computer, you can press a button to cycle between outputting between the two rather than going through like 5 menus. And then just earlier today, I saw on Reddit, a guy made an IFTTT integration for Stream Deck, so we could just imagine how many possibilities are open with that just on day 2. So this next year for Stream Deck is going to be incredible to see what the community comes up with.
Yeah, that's amazing. So definitely recommend the product. We'll, of course, list links and a couple helpful resources in the description below if you want to research the Stream Deck for how it could apply to your context. So I'm seriously pumped about these updates for the Stream Deck. You know, personally, I loved it because it was so feature-packed, but because I stream on vMix, it felt a little limited, but now that is all changed. And actually, if you want to see a video breaking down my full live streaming setup, I'll link that up on the YouTube card and put a link to it in the description below as well. Question of the day, are you thinking about live streaming this year, and what gear are you planning on using? Just going simple with your webcam, or are you building out a setup? Let me know in the comments section below.